Guys, today we're going to be talking about Spider-Man versus Green Lantern. Um, this is the Peter Parker and Hal Jordan, for those wondering, because there's been so many different Green Lanterns, now we have to differentiate. I don't think I said that correctly. So this is Peter Parker versus Hal Jordan. Anyways, let's begin. I don't have to go through either one of these characters because I'm almost confident 99, or I should say 1,000,000% of you should technically know this by now, their origins by now. I mean, Peter Parker gets bitten by a spider, gets spider powers. Green Lantern is a military pilot who gets a lantern ring and becomes a hero. Simple as that. Alright, let's talk about their physical abilities like strength, speed, durability. Okay, in terms of mental strength, what I mean by mental strength is who's stronger overall with using from distance, who don't usually go up. Like, what I mean is like this: whenever you see in a WWE ring, you see two people fighting. And what I mean is that if you can assault the character from like miles away, like that, kind of like when you see it, kind of like in the show Arrow, where he fires both, but he can sustain like miles away, kind of like that. That's what I call mental strength. Hal Jordan easily. I mean, I don't think Spidey would even won't even probably hit the guy because he can fly and he has the ring. But that's mental strength. That's not what I would call what they would do automatically. Unless, it's like a character thing, like let's say if I was doing Professor X versus Oracle, that's what I would call more like a mental strength, like who is stronger from mentally. But these two guys can fight in the sky or on the ground. So in terms of physical strength, yes, the ring does give Green Lantern superhuman strength, but it also cannot do it at the same time. Like, Atrocitus is more like, kind of like the stronger one out of the two. Like, I know how Jordan and Atrocitus battle for so many times, but usually Atrocitus is stronger. When you take a look at Spider-Man, most of his rogues are either equal or less strong. Like, I would say Electro is not even that strong enough to even take down Spider-Man. In terms of physical strength, that's a slight edge to Spider-Man. I know that Green Lantern can lift planets, but he can't do it all the time. Now, the speed, this is easily Green Lantern. I mean, one guy can fly, one guy cannot. It's easy as that. How in the world is Spider-Man even faster? I mean, Spider-Man even has a villain who is faster than him. That's Speed Demon. In terms of durability, one of Green Lantern's weaknesses, according to DC, is gold. I'm not even joking. Search that up. Alan Scott was basically wood, and almost every Green Lantern is now gold. Yeah, I don't know how that can work. So if I was wearing a yellow suit, I should have I would actually have a good chance of defeating Green Lantern, essentially. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Spider-Man may not have gold, but I'm pretty sure he has gold-like tech. So, Spider-Man has a durability advantage because his powers and weaknesses are much more not that common in his rogues. Like, most of his rogues have a hard time even tagging them. But I'm almost confident that, if I were to put Spider-Man up against any golden, and I would actually want to say Goldface, who is a Green Lantern villain, I think Spider-Man will take him down pretty easily. And yes, I'll make a video on that. In terms of invulnerability, again, Goldface has given Green Lantern a hard time, but again, that's because he has his weaknesses. So I don't think Goldface would count. But even then, Sonar's kind of giving him a hard time. Major Disaster kind of has sometimes given him a hard time. Managers definitely give him a hard time. But all those can technically be excused because, GL, not the best rogues gallery. Where Spider-Man usually doesn't have a hard times, and plus he can take much more hard beatings. Well, Hal Jordan, on the other hand, like the time Wonder Woman punched him. Yeah, I think I think Wonder Woman was holding back because she obviously knows that if she just went all out against Hal, she would destroy him or kill him pretty quickly. Where when Spider-Man goes up against, he never has a hard time. Alright. Now, I think Spider-Man has one edge, and that is Spidey Sense. Spidey Sense can actually help him and basically make it nearly impossible for Hal Jordan to even come up with an attack. Hal definitely may have the more power because of his ring, and yes, he can go and charge the ring to even further to make sure that he can always take it down Spider-Man. And he can even call the Guardians, but that's more too much. This is just one-on-one. And in this scenario, I would say Spider-Man has an edge in terms of, he's a smarter one. He's easily the better fighter, and he's easily has the Spidey Sense. Yes, sometimes the Spidey Sense could not help him against Green Lantern, but for the most part, I don't know what attacks a Green Lantern can make that Spider-Man hasn't even done before, that Spider-Man hasn't even dealt with before. If you say, well, he can just do a charging Juggernaut. Well, Spider-Man has some rogues, or battles some rogues that have that kind of ability. You have Rhino, Juggernaut. Well, technically Juggernaut's more like a X-Men rogue, but Rhino is one of them. So basically, any construct GL comes with is not going to do anything to Spider-Man. Now, who will win? Spider-Man or Green Lantern? I'm gonna say Spider-Man 6 times out of 10, and GL 4 times out of 10. It's a close fight, but I think Spidey has the better advantages in this fight.